So Warhammer the Old World is getting a preview this week. We're actually going to get information, but for now we've got some very interesting rumours, so let's jump in. So Warhammer Fest is this Sunday on the 30th of April, and it's going to be at 2 PM where we get Warhammer the Old World reveals. I will be doing a live stream watch along, so if that's something you're interested in, make sure you hit subscribe. But the rumours, as I said, are interesting. They're not necessarily overly new. Some of these are quite a few weeks old, but they talk about the base sizes and some models that might be coming back, as well as the starter box. So let's jump in again. Now this is the rumour I actually want to talk about because this is the one where they actually spoke about base sizes, and this was posted before we got the article about the new base size, so that adds validity to the statement. Now they could have obviously guessed because it was rumoured beforehand, but it does make it a bit more believable. And when we have a look at the base sizes that they're saying will exist, well, they're saying 25mm for the small infantry, well that has pretty much been confirmed, 30mm for larger infantry, 60mm for monstrous infantry like trolls, etc. And then your cavalry will be 30 by 60, which might make sense why the Bretonians didn't necessarily seem all that different. I'm not sure I could pick up a 25mm or 30mm frontage on a horse and actually be like, that's very different. Like, weirdly to me, the base size does look a little bit different, but I'm not sure I could necessarily put my finger on what. So being an extra 5mm here, I think that would make sense. Now I am not overly familiar with Age of Sigmar, but these are apparently the base sizes that they have. But you can see that their smallest was basically 25mm. So it makes sense that the old world is adopting that. Then it looks like they're sort of splitting the difference between Warcry and like the Chaos Warrior type size and going at 30mm. I'm guessing that both will fit very easily on a 30mm. That would make sense. 40mm, they're probably not going to fit on a 30mm, they'll go on the size up, which if we're led to believe will be changing to 60mm. I sort of think they might keep 50mm as well, and they might indeed keep 40mm bases. Like, I think that's possible. Maybe they'll actually have 25mm, 30mm, 40mm, 50mm, and 60mm. I think that's possible. Cavalry, I do think will just be adopting the new one. I think they might as well just do that. It would match the larger infantry, and I think that sort of makes sense. Whether or not cavalry can even then go in a unit, I mean, you know, maybe they'll just go on the end. I don't really know. We'll have to wait and see. Either way, they did say that a lot of the other bases will be changing, but not necessarily all of them. So maybe some of the old bases will remain. I don't really know, it's hard to say. Now this sentence sort of makes it believable, but then they sort of contradict what the truth was said, because they said there will be no rules for base measures. Well, they pretty much said that you have to use the profile one for competitive. Other than that, you know, do what you want, I guess. But it does say you can use your old models with their old bases, which is, you know, it is true. It's just they specifically called out competitive, saying you might not want to do that. Then they said you could even rebase them, or you can use movement trays, which they did say. And round bases, I think that's going to happen as well. Like, that just makes a lot of sense. It is yet again rumoured that the core set will be Empire versus Orcs. An absolute classic battle. It would make a lot of sense. It is literally, when I think of fantasy, that's sort of the battle that I think of. And then they were talking about Bretonians and Tomb Kings, basically to show that they are not forgotten, which makes sense. And then the order of the releases, as per this rumour, would be Empire, Orcs, Goblins, Chaos, Kislev, Bretonians, and then Dwarfs. That makes sense, I think. That logically, I'm on board with that. This all makes sense. That is very believable. There's been some kind of like confirmation about these rumours. Yeah, I can see that happening. Then about 8 days ago, there was this rumour which is sort of blowing my mind, because I would love it to be true. I hope that it is true, but like, I find it unlikely. And that is that the rumour, which is a solid source, whereas this source was a great source, but a solid source is saying that the Battle for Skull Pass and Island of Blood like starter boxes will be getting reprints. And my god, I really hope that's true. I never quite bought either set. I think I maybe bought the High Elf set from the Island of Blood, but that was probably about it. Like, I went on eBay and did that, and I regret that. Yeah, the goblins are like monopos, but who cares? Like, from the Skull Pass one, the goblins are a bit boring, the models are whatever, but like, yeah, man, the nostalgia from those two box sets would be very, very high. And if they manage to do them and keep the value, which I'm presuming is maybe the intent, and that's why you would do it, then we could be in for some very interesting stuff happening. For me, it's very exciting. I don't know how true this one is, but it's obviously true that we're getting old models back, as we saw with the Bretonians and stuff like that. But I can't help but think that my excitement is getting maybe a little bit ahead of myself. Maybe I want this rumor to be true, and that's why I'm like, yes, yes. For me, it's a little bit crazy. I'd love to see them do it, but we'll have to wait and see. Do I have any major predictions for this? Well, I think we can probably expect to not see all that much, but I thought that because I was like, oh, they'll show more Horus Heresy stuff because that makes sense. But I'm actually changing my mind Does it make sense to show Horus Heresy the same time you're trying to show a lot of your 40k stuff and a new edition of 40k? Possibly not. So I think this may actually predominantly be the old world. Will we get like cinematic trailers, or will we get not a cinematic trailer? Will we just get like a trailer featuring models? Will we get both? Either way, my excitement is way too high. And as I said, if you want to watch that along with me, I will be streaming it live here on YouTube. Probably start maybe half an hour before it, maybe an hour before it, and we'll just pump it up. We will pump up the excitement. We will be getting so high on that copium. We will be very excitable. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. That's going to be super fun. But yeah, some crazy rumors there with the starter boxes possibly coming back. But those base size rumors, that's just very eminently believable at this point, considering one of them was already true. That sort of then implies that the core box is going to be Empire versus Orcs, and that could be very much amazing. It could then be very worth getting the new starter box for the Orcs, and then the Battle for Skull Pass for the Goblins. Like, that could be really good value. Obviously, we'll have to wait and see. Because I'm unprofessional, I don't have anything prepared to show you, but I just want to give a big shout out to Zodgrod and Clint. They are my 2 Patreons. I really appreciate you guys. If you want to support me and help me grow the channel, becoming a Patreon by the link in the description is truly the best way. Other than that, I hope you have a most beautiful day. Like and subscribe. Goodbye.